Hey everybody. Okay, part two. I had a request last night or today asking if I can do a random number generator, maybe a random image generator on the site. Well, we're going to work on that today in this part. But first off, finding out that a lot of people actually like this series, I'm going to take the time to rename this. Instead of Nelson's demo script, we're going to reopen that file we had called demo. And let's call this, we're going to call this project 1, I think is what we're going to do. So I'm going to go up and I'm going to say save as. I'm going to call this project 1. Project1.php. And in here we're going to say Nelson's PHP course, PHP script course. And we're going to say the best PHP scripting class ever. Here, we'll go with that. Learn how to code HTML and PHP as a good guy. Okay, cool. And then here, what we're going to do is every episode we're gonna go to the next section down and we're just going to push the projects down. So here I'm going to say H2. We're going to say section 1. There. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to put a P here, and by now you guys know what the P stands for. And section 2. Now you guys are going to have to watch the sections from bottom up. Really simple to do. Go from bottom up, and we should all be good with that. There we go. Okay. So tonight we're going to do a random number generator. So some of you may be wondering, if you don't understand what I'm doing here, go back and watch part 1. And you'll understand better what we're doing here. This is a course where I'm going to take the time to show the users, my followers, exactly what we're doing, step by step, PHP coding. If you guys have any questions about coding or would like me to do something in terms of PHP coding, HTML, CSS, I will show you guys how to do this stuff as time goes on. I really did want to start with the very first episode where we start with how to use FTP, how do we start writing the stuff in WordPad. So if you are a coder, don't look at this and start criticizing the way stuff is laid out. It's not the point of how stuff is laid out. It's more, how do you get text to show up with H1? How do you get text to show up as H3? How do you do paragraph spacing? What does the HTML header body tags mean? It's a very basic course to get you guys started. Now we're on section 2, and we're going to do random number generation, and I'll even do a system where there's random images that show up on the page. So if you want to create, say, a random image, let's say you want a different background every time your page loads, we can do that. But if you have a specific task or a concept that you want put in, go for it, plug it in. Make sure to follow this channel and become a follower. Really important. We're trying to get up to becoming a Twitch affiliate. So being that we're doing this through Twitch, follow us please and help support us. We're doing this free of charge, and where a lot of classes, this stuff costs like $500 to $1,000 to take courses like this, and I'm going to show you what I know. Okay, so let's get started. So what do we want to do? First, let's make this so that we put a random number in the middle of the screen. Let's start off really simple. I want it to show up in the middle of the screen, centered in the screen. So as I said in the previous episode, use center and put in /center right away. Josh Alexander, in one of my live streams today on the Mordox Daily Live Chat, said, "What? You don't have an editor that automatically puts it in?" And what he was referring to is if you got an editor that does this, you type in center, and as you push enter, this line will automatically show up. Now there are some C-E-N-T-E-R. There are some programs that will automatically insert in the code accordingly and justify everything, and off you go. So yeah. Hey, put in text, guys. Let me know if you guys are coders or just learning, or is this something new for you guys? Put it in text. I want to know. I want to make this a conversation here. Okay, so we're going to do random number. So what I did is I opened up center of the page. It's under section 2, and we want to write, for example, This is a random number. Now I'm going to do multiple examples of this. So watch, just pay attention here. First is going to be this is a total random number, and then we can, now here's where we're going to do inline PHP. In the previous sets, we opened PHP and enclosed it later on. I'm going to show you guys how to do an inline PHP in the line of the HTML. If you look here, I have HTML sitting here. I didn't open up any PHP yet. But in the line, if you do the same lesser than question mark PHP space and then say echo rand like that, what I've essentially done here in this line here is the same thing as if I went like this. Okay, it's the exact same thing. The browser software is able to distinguish whether or not you are writing it. You know, the lines don't matter in coding. Your browser strips out all the lines. It looks at everything as one long string of text. So let's go back to where we were. There we go. So there, and then we'll say P. Next line down, I'm going to say this is a random number between 1 and 100. And then we're going to say the same thing again. Let's go with 1, 100. So I'm going to save this this file. We'll upload it to the server, and we'll go take a look and see what it shows. I'm going to delete out these old files here. Now I will be providing access to the website in a couple projects for you guys to log in and get all this coding if you guys want to have direct access to it. So as shown in episode 1, in part 1, FTP software, essentially what I did is I right clicked and I said upload. If you guys need to learn how to use FTP again, go back and look at episode 1. I taught you guys how to download it, install it, how to configure it, and go and go with it. So project 1 is uploaded, and now let's go to nelsonbuck.com/project1.php, and there you go. So this is a random number right there, and every time we reload the page, every time we press F5, this number changes every single time under section 2. Right below it, this is a random number between 1 and 100. 96, 56, 6, 52, 7, 77, and so on. So there you go. Random number generator. I had a user earlier asking, how do you do random numbers? How would I do it? Well, there you go. Random number is a random long integer. And if you specify, like I did down here, if you specify RAND stands for random, 1 to 100, it will choose a number from 1 to 100. Now, I want to go to php.net if it comes up. If it doesn't, we'll have to go to Google. Okay, my browser is getting really... What's going on? Let's try this again. Okay, rand. Here's the random function. Now, there's different types of random. When we deal with random functions, constant function does not generate graphically secure values and should not be used for cryptographic purposes. If you need to cryptographically secure value, consider using random int, random bytes, or OpenSSL random pseudo bytes instead. So these are three other ways of generating random code. So really important. You got to read these notes. And as I showed you, we have random, which is void, which is just the long integer. Or you have random with the minimum and maximum values of both integers, and it will generate a random number. Here, if called without a optimal min-max arguments, rand returns a pseudo-random integer between 0 and get random max. I'm curious what this is. This is new in this version. What is the random max? Oh, okay. It's get random max. Hold on a second. Now I'm curious. What does it return? Shows largest possible random value. Okay, yeah, because in php.ini you can configure the largest random number available. You can actually go past long integer. You could go into very specialized integers up to I think 36 digits or 24 digits long. So yeah, that could make some for some really big numbers. Okay, so if we go back, there's srand, seed the random number generator. That was also another one. And there's mt get random max, shows the largest possible random value. Seed, to seed it, srand, seed the random number generator. Description, seeds the random number generator with seed or with a random value if no seed is given. I'm not sure about this. I'm going to have to do some research. I've never used the function seed. I've never used that. Just want to see how what they use on here. I've never used this. Maybe on Sunday I'm going to have to play with that and see what that does. Okay, going back. Yeah, so if you want more secure or better random number generators, you get random bytes, which will return byte values. You got the OpenSSL, which is has to do with secure socket layer and cryptographic values. You might want to use that one. Otherwise, we can come all the way down here. There's srand, get rand max, mtrand, generate a random number, random value via the Mersey Twister random number generator. So there's different methods of generating numbers depending on your application. If you're using stuff for cryptography or to salt passwords, for example, yeah, there's different stuff out there. But I just use rand, R-A-N-D. That's the one I use. Okay, so yeah, so let's go further. Let's go further and let's go find 5 images. Let's go find some images at let's say, let's go to images at Google. Let's type in banner backgrounds. Banner backgrounds. Now in here, let's say settings. Not settings. More tools. In tools, I want sizes. I want to say exactly 468 by 60. What's going to be really important here is usage, because I'm doing this for I could possibly sell my service. I want to label for reuse. Really important to select that. Okay, so there's nothing. I might have to go any size. Okay, we'll go with any size. There we go. What's this one? 960 by 480. Let's go like this. Sizes. Let's go 256 by 256. There we go. There's some images. And it's for reuse. So, save image as. We're going to save it in our little directory, our little corner of the web. Nelson Buck. And I'll save it right in the main folder. Save this one too. Save image as. Save this one too. Here we'll have 4 images. There we go, 4 images. Now I'm going to do something here. Before I upload all those files, I'm going to do something here. I want to go into Nelson Buck in here, and I'm going to call this rename image 1. They're all JPEG. Oh, cool. Rename image 2. Rename 3. And rename image 4. So now we have 4 images. There we go. Cool. Now we got 4 images. Now we can upload them. Let's go to our FTP program, refresh. I want to select all 4 of these images, drag them over. Now I got 4 images. All done. They're all lowercase. They all end in JPG, so it makes it simple. And let's go back to our little program over here. Now I want to put up a random image. This is a random image of 4 images. Now we're going to go PHP, close the PHP right away, and in here we're going to say my value equals rand of 1, 4. So we're going to choose a number from 1 to 4. There you go. Simple as that. And then we're going to say img src equal. I'll explain this coding in just a second. img src https://nelsonbuck.com/image and this is where it gets funky. My value dot jpeg. So that's the file name, and then we can go on to that's why it's looking kind of weird for me here. Echo quotation backslash. This is why I said I'm going to show you guys what this all means in a second. Quotes. Lesser than backslash and there. Okay. So what does this line mean? What have I done? I made a string, called it my value right here, and I said that equals the random number from 1 to 4. So it's going to choose a random number from 1, 2, 3, or 4. After that, I say echo img src. But why did I put a backslash with a quotation mark here? Because normally the line, if it wasn't inside the PHP tags, would be img src equals quotation, the file name quotation. It would look like that normally, but because we're inside the echo command, we have to comment out the quotation marks that would normally show up in the coding. So this is the regular coding all the way to here. Now what I did here was I closed the quotations to continue with the dot and display the value, reopen the quotations, continue with JPEG, commented out this one because this is the one that has to show up in between the quotes. Then indicate to the browser it's a new line, close the quotes, close the string. So that displays the image. If it was outside the quotes, I would have had to have gone img src equals quote https nelsonbuck.com/image, and then for example I could have gone php echo my value semicolon like this dot jpeg quote. Could have done it that way too. The difference is I have this on separate lines, all this coding. Here I have it as a straight HTML code, and I inserted in a block of PHP where I want the number to show up, where it says image blank dot jpeg, and that corresponds to image blank would be the number 1, 2, 3, or 4 dot jpeg. These are the same files that we uploaded. So let's go try this out now. Let's save this, upload it to the server. Project 1, upload. Go back to our website at Nelson Buck, press F5, and there's your images. The first one is with the long code, and the second one is with the inline code. And if we keep reloading the page, theoretically, you will get a new you should get a new image. There's times with 1 to 4 you're going to choose the same number over and over and over again. There you go. Random number generator. with random images. Super simple to do, not hard to do. This is random image, let's say number. Let's get all fancy here and do this. I'm gonna cut this out. Let's cut all this out. Put this coding up here. And now we can say this is image number echo my value. There you go. Let's try that. Now I've cut out one of the displays of the images. Got one viewer watching. That's not bad. Got one student that's dedicated and just sitting there watching. Reload the page. Now it says this is a random image number 3 of 4 images. 1 of 4 images, 4 of 4, 1 of 4, 3 of 4, 2 of 4, 1 of 4, 3 of 4, and so on, and so on, and so on. So there you go. That was episode or part 2 of learning some PHP and HTML coding. I'm hoping this isn't too fast for you guys. If I am going too fast and you want me to slow down and really give you guys detailed explanations of what all the commands do, feel free to let me know. I'm trying to do this as slow as possible so you guys can go episode by episode and learn how to do this. It is really hard for a programmer at my caliber to do this kind of stuff because we constantly assume that you know all this stuff already. And we have to keep reminding ourselves that, no, you don't know this stuff, especially if you're taking this course, and that we have to take a step back and say, okay, they got to learn. I already learned it. You know, so one thing at a time. Let me know in the comments. If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe, like, and comment. Leave your notes below. Let me know what you think. You might have something that you might want me to work on. I got no problems with that. For the first few projects here, don't get too carried away with the high-tech stuff that you want me to solve for you. Don't come at me with a database, multi-level logic, scanning, artificial intelligence algorithm that you need me to debug. Stick with the stuff that the newbies need to learn. And as time goes on through the course, we'll get into the really nitty-gritty stuff, getting into matrices and databases and cross-referencing databases. We can do all sorts of neat things with this. We're going to get into SQL. We're going to get into a lot of stuff, security. I'll even show you guys how to create an SQL database. I'll show you my algorithms that I use in order to protect my SQL databases from what we call overruns. There's going to be some really high-level stuff, but I don't want to go too fast to scare everybody. If you're new here and you've hit this video, go back and start at the beginning. Episode 1, go 2, 3, 4. In about a week, I'll have this all set up at nelsonbuck.com. There'll be a membership site you can sign up to and become a member and see the rest of the videos in there. With that said, I'm going to leave you guys for tonight, and I hope this taught something to somebody. I really do hope so. Let me know. I will talk to you guys tomorrow or day after.